Over the past 6 videos, we've understood the basics of power production from the engine, and at the end of all that, we've ended up with this flywheel here, which is producing power in terms of rotational motion. And now we need to process that power. But why? Why do we have to process the power? Why can't we just connect this flywheel to the wheels here and send this rotational motion from here to here? Job done. Obviously, it's not as simple or useful or practical. We need something to process that power in between called a transmission system, because we need different types of torque and speed and different times of driving to be sent to the wheels. So manual and automatic transmission, that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the Batman experiment.
Ta-da!
So let's say engine flywheel is spinning at some speed, and for now we don't have a transmission system, and flywheel directly connected to the drive shaft and the drive wheels. So when you're driving along at some speed, it's all fine. Same power here equal to power here, it's going along. But you get home, you stop your car, wheel stops spinning, drive shaft stops spinning, but the engine doesn't know that. The engine will keep spinning, and because it's directly connected, you're screwed. You've stalled the engine, you wrecked your engine. So obviously, first thing we need here is some sort of mechanism to disconnect this power transfer from the flywheel to the drive shaft, and this is where the clutch comes in. Everyone's familiar with the clutch. If you drive a manual transmission vehicle, you know that when you're coming to a halt, you will press the clutch pedal and then stop the vehicle. This is the reason. You're disconnecting the engine flywheel power transfer to the drive shaft. So a clutch pedal is connected to a clutch plate, which is a simple mechanism of the clutch plate is connected on one side to the flywheel and on the other side to the drive shaft, and when you press the clutch pedal, it just decouples this power transfer. The alternative in automatic transmission vehicles is something called a torque converter. Does the same thing, but this is more turbine and fluid based. We can have a separate video just discussing clutch and torque converters. That will take more than 10 minutes, but for the sake of this video, clutch and torque converter, clutch is used in manual transmission, torque converter is used in automatic transmission, does the same thing, decouples and disconnects the power transfer from the flywheel to the drive shaft for different reasons, which we'll get into now. Because you don't just use the clutch to start and stop the car, right? The main use case here is to shift gears for gear ratios. So just remember this: torque, which is the twisting rotational motion, into speed of the transmission, equal power of vehicle. So let's say power remains same. If you want more torque, you decrease the speed of the transmission. So let's say you're going up a hill and you really need more torque to get yourself up that hill. So at that time, we change the gear ratios and we reduce the speed, get more torque. That is first gear. Then second gear. If you're going downhill, maybe you need fourth gear. First of all, don't get intimidated if it looks too complex. It's not. But also don't get too angry if the drawing looks too pathetic. It is. It's just my drawing. You know, these are supposed to be gears. Look like amoebas, but they are gears. So to start off with, this is the input shaft, and so input, the engine power coming in from the flywheel, the power going out to the drive shaft and to the wheels. And down here we have a counter shaft which turns opposite to this main shaft. And you see all these gears are in mesh together. So when the power comes in, all of them will keep spinning, right? Because they're all connected, which is a bit useless. So for that, what we'll do is we put this hubs on the shaft here with sleeves on them, and their job is to go and anchor themselves, like connect themselves to one of the gears. So let's say you want first gear, you press on the clutch, disconnect, decouple here, and then you shift into first gear. So this is first gear. So when you engage first gear, this hub with sleeve here goes and anchors itself to the first gear, and now the power delivery, the input goes to the counter shaft, to the first gear, and then to the drive shaft, to the wheels. So you're in first gear. You want second gear, this guy comes and sits here, input, counter, second gear, out. And because these gears are all of different sizes, This is how we can get gear ratios and manage to alter this formula here. So first gear, the gear ratio for first gear is 3.8 to 1. So the input has to turn over 3.8 times for the output to turn once. So the speed goes down and the torque is the highest. So first gear is where you get the most torque to get up a hill. First gear 1 is 3.8 to 1 gear ratio. Gear 2 is 2 to 1. 3 I think is 1.4 to 1. And fourth gear is actually 1:1. So when you're in fourth gear, you're in direct drive, which means the input is the input power is same as the output power. And you can also get obviously fifth gear, which we call overdrive, where fifth gear is usually 0.8 to 1. So you got so much power that the input only needs to turn 0.8 times for you to get the output to turn once. And of course there is reverse gear. So you know, in normal forward gearing, the input shaft and the counter shaft turn opposite to each other. But in the case of reverse, they will turn in the same direction so that you get reverse gear. And that is it. That is how manual transmission works, how the gearbox works. Basically just different gear ratios to get different transmission speeds and different torque for different conditions. That is called processing of the power that we get from the flywheel, processing it, sending it to the wheels for different torque requirements. But wait, just before you go, let's just do a quick brief explanation of how automatic transmission works. It works on the basis of a planetary gear system. So this is it. We've got the sun gear in the middle, surrounded by planetary gears. I swear I'm not talking astronomy. This is how it works. So sun gear with planetary gears around it, and it's anchored to it's bolted together by something called a carrier. The planetary gears are bolted to the sun by the carrier, and around all of this is the ring gear. Imagine this 2D diagram as a 3D representation. So let's say we have this arrangement here, right? And I said all of them, they are bolted together, and say we have bolts coming out of here, and we put a plate on this, and then we put a shaft out. So it comes out held together by these mounting points, and that is our output shaft, like going to the drive shaft. So obviously we have the ring gear, the sun gear, and the planets. And also for our output we have this plate and the drive shaft, the shaft that turns around here, if you can imagine it. So if you can manage to turn these gears at different speeds, the output, this guy will turn at different speeds. So like getting different gears like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, what we'll do is we'll keep the ring gear constant, doesn't move. Only the sun moves, and the planetary gears surrounding it move in mesh with it. So with that you get one output speed on the wheels. And now let's say we are moving both of them, but the ring is moving to a different speed than the sun, and these should actually be in mesh. So this is moving at one speed, these are moving at one speed, and the output you get another speed, another gear. And now let's say they're both, the sun, this arrangement, and this guy all moving at the same speed. So that's like getting direct drive fourth gear in manual. And if you want reverse, just move the sun in the opposite direction, you get reverse. So you get the idea. That's how automatic transmission works. Just move these at different speeds and get a different output. Please someone teach me 3D animation. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you understood something about manual and automatic transmission. We've put in the transmission here. We've done some processing of the power that we got from the engine flywheel, and all that remains is to send this processed power to the wheels so that we can actually use our car to go somewhere. It's been too long in lockdown. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're enjoying it, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah, bye.